Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. As you can see, this time we're looking at PSOne. This is the last version I think Sony did of the PSOne. If you just put a disc in and just power it up, you'll hear that it makes a noise. It starts to load. I just tested with another game actually, this game that came with it, and this one worked okay. But if you just listen now, it loads like the first part of the disc, no problem. Then it does a seek up the disc. Can you hear that? If I open it, you can hear it a bit clearer. So we've got a problem where the head is not moving properly. It's like we've got a tooth missing off a gear or something like that. So I'll strip it down, we'll have a look at the drive. So you just need to get the 6 screws out from underneath. You can see I had to pierce the warranty seal there. Then it all just comes apart. You'll find the first thing is you take the bottom lid off there, this piece of shield, and they'll be there, and then the motherboard. And I'll show you the main board in a minute. So I've taken the optical pickup unit out of this, and you'll see if I just move this here, can you see that? I can just push it like that. Now to me, that says a few things. Well, there's a few different ways of looking at it. The first thought was a tooth missing off either the worm, well not the worm, but the gear, or one of the gears in there. But if that was the case, I wouldn't expect it to move very far at all before the problem occurs. So I mean, it could be a tooth missing off here, but I think it's more likely to be a tooth missing off the part that goes on the carriage. There's like a tooth piece of plastic that just goes the full length of there, I think, in order to allow the thing to move across, and I think there's probably a tooth missing off that. So I think the next step here is perhaps to remove the screws here and unclip this plastic piece, and just have a look to see what's going on at the point where the carriage joins the gearing system. So it's not what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be something to do with this piece of plastic here. There's actually a tooth missing off down here somewhere. I'll just put it on Super Macro so you can see it. Okay, so we're on Super Macro now. Can you see we've got a tooth missing here? Let's just try and turn the camera slightly. Yeah, just where the point of this tool is touching there, got one of the teeth missing. So that's what the problem is. So I think I just need to inspect some of my old faulty assemblies and just see if I've got a gear the same size as that one off one of the old PSOne lasers that I've kept. So I've got an old faulty unit here that I've kept. So you can see they look pretty much identical actually. I'm pretty sure you could, yeah, it's the ribbon that's the issue, but I'm pretty sure they're identical. So I'll strip this one down. You can see I've had this one apart before, actually I've had the screws out already. And we'll just have a look, see if it's got the same thing going on. Let's just pull that flex ribbon out. I think this might be an aftermarket one actually. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, those look the same. This one's got some pretty dried out grease on it, but yeah, I think I can just swap those over and hopefully it should work. So the way you get these off is to use the pliers here, just squeeze them together and try and push down at the same time. As you can see, it then just comes off. So let's see if we can get this on here now. So yeah, it's got some grease on there that needs cleaning off. Now the important thing here is not to just to push it down and snap it, because if you're not careful, if you don't get it aligned with the teeth on the gear here and the teeth on there, you will break it. So you've got to be careful. I mean, you can see it's rotating when I'm moving that part, so that's not a problem. It's just going to be a case of carefully sliding it into place so it doesn't smash the teeth off on that one below. So yeah, just massaging them from side to side like that until you get a bite. I can feel that that's in the right place, I think. Is it? Yes, it is, because it's moving the carriage, and then just push it down. So what we should have now, yeah, it's not moving at all. It's got a resistance, and that's another reason why when you're messing around with the laser on PlayStations, you shouldn't just pull. If I was to pull the carriage now myself manually, I'm forcing this mechanism here. You know, you'll break the teeth off. So you've got to let the system do it itself. But before I reassemble this, I'll just get some lubrication to the gears and that little thing there, and onto the plastic edges. You can see there's some silicone stuff actually in there, some lithium based or something, or silicone based grease in there, but we'll wipe that off, clean it all up. I'm not going to spend ages showing you how to do it. What I will do is I'll post a link up above and down below to 4K's channel. He did a video just recently actually on totally stripping one of these down beyond this level, taking all the gears out and cleaning it all up, lubricating it. So it's worth watching that video as well. He spends more time showing you how to take it all apart and stuff. But right now, let's say I want to reassemble this and we'll just see if it works. So I've just tested that and it works. I'll show you in a second. But whilst we're here, I thought we'd have a quick look at the board. Now the interesting thing on first inspection is the slantedness of the board layout there. It's not square edge, you know, it's designed to go with the aesthetics of the case for the game ports, you know, for the controllers and the memory cards. So yeah, I don't know about the chips on here. I'm not that up on the different chips used between the different revisions, but we've certainly got 3 giant quad flat packs. Look at the pin density on those, it's unbelievable. But yeah, it's a really nice, well-made, you know, well-designed system. This easily maintainable again, I guess, unless you get fault on one of these chips. I wouldn't like to change one of those. So yeah, SMD electrolytics again. So ultimately, they may need swapping out. I'll inspect these with a magnifying glass while I'm here, just to make sure they're all okay. But the system does seem to behave totally normally. So I mean, up here, I think you've got a ROM. Yeah, I think that's going to be a ROM. What's that down there? I can't see the damn thing. Yeah, I can't read the part number. I'm guessing it's going to be a RAM. It's a 72 megahertz on it. That's interesting. It might not be. It might be some other kind of chip. You've got Samsung RAM down here. That's a BTL driver. That's going to be for, you know, driving the motors and things on the CD unit. That chip. That's another RAM, I think. Yeah, a Samsung. Yeah, you've got what looks like a JRC op amp there where my thumb is, tiny little thing. That's got a Sony marking on it, not sure, probably a video DAC I would think. And on the other side, nothing really, just the traces and things, not a lot else. Power connector looks alright there. So the other interesting thing here about this particular one, I found a couple of these little plastic bits, and you can see one's come off there, a smaller one. There must be another one somewhere. I can't see where it's sheared off, but I'll inspect that and glue those back on. They're only supports for the drive and stuff, but it could be one of those that snapped off and got wedged in the mechanism or something. I mean, they could be totally unrelated. Yeah, so get your shielding in first at the bottom, then slide your board in. You can see you've got to slide it in so that the memory card slots, is that the memory card slot? Not sure. Those bottom ones, whatever those are, need to go in first to get under the edge there. That's it. And then if you've got it in place, it should fit into the shielding. Then get this piece back on here, get your drive back on, and then stick your top half on and put the screws in. Yeah, so the plastic notch came from there, and you might think that's not really important, but actually it holds the shielding. And you can see if I just put this here, you can see that little hole there. That's where that goes. So it stops the shielding from moving like that in the case. So yeah, it's worth gluing those back on if they're broken off. Although the screws will hold it from the from the other side anyway. And I've just done the same thing on the one that was broken off there. Just glued that back on. So other than that, it's just a case of cleaning it up really after I've reassembled it. So we'll just give the laser a quick clean while we're here as well. Just a tiny bit of 99% IPA here. You don't want to press too hard because you'll stress the focus and tracking coils. Sometimes it's worth cleaning the spindle here, but you can see that's hardly used. I don't think this drive has much use at all. I suspect that gear is broken very early in this system's life. It does look absolutely immaculate. I mean, I know it's one of the last models, so it wouldn't have had as much use as some of the newer ones anyway. Sorry, the old ones. But yeah, that's it, we're all done now, so I'll get the lid back on. So as you can see, all reassembled and cleaned up. It's come up like new. There's barely a mark on it. So yeah, thanks to Mum and Dad again, that was a fantastic pickup. Hope they have more success when they go back to car boot sales and things. So we'll get the game, let's get my Resident Evil. I just recently purchased an original copy of Resident Evil, actually. You can see it here, actually it's in pretty good condition. It was only £5, that's not too bad. I've not got a box for the game that came with it, but yeah, if you've got one, let me know. So we'll just switch it on. Oh, sorry, I forgot the power. Yeah, and incidentally, the power for these 7.5 volts, 2 amp power supply. You know, a separate power brick. You can see it's sat in the corner there, that grey power brick. So if I just point you at the screen, I'll switch it on. So I'm just using a composite lead with this at the moment. I've got a couple of RGB leads actually that will work. And if you're not aware, you know, it's like you can use PSOne, PS2 AV leads, they're just the same. And obviously the controllers are interchangeable as well. I'm just using the one I usually use with my PS2 here to test this. Now this game before, what was happening, it loaded this part here, and then it would make a continuous noise. It would never actually, you know, manage to load the game. But as you can see, that seems to be working. Yeah, I think we'll call that a success. Anyway, hopefully you found that interesting. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.